Hey guys, we're heading to a dinner experience that I've never been to before. We're gonna hit up a Brazilian steakhouse. BR77 is the name of the restaurant that we're going to. I'm excited to try it out, and we'll give you some good views and reviews. See you in a little bit. After we were seated, the waitress took our drink orders, and then she explained how the whole Brazilian buffet experience works. There was a full-on salad bar type with hot and cold items. The price of this buffet was $42.77 a person plus tax, which was quite reasonable considering some of the other Brazilian steakhouses in the area were upwards of $65. They did offer complimentary appetizers like Brazilian cheese bread, french fries, yuca, sweet plantain. Dessert was not included, but we took a look at the menu and those looked tasty. First we made a trip around the buffet. They had quite the variety of cold and hot items, lots of pre-made salads, and then salads you could make to order. There were a lot of charcuterie type items, and there was also a lot of pickled options, which really does help cut the fat content in all that meat. We knew we would not have room with all the food offered, but it was fun to take a look. Now here you do actually have to go up to the meat counter. They'll ask you what kind of meat you'd like and how many you'd like. They also have a little guide on how you would like your meat cooked.
Some of the sauces, please. Anything else?
I do a ribeye.
Two, please. And then a bacon wrap fillet, please. What?
Yes,
Two?
please. Just one. And then can I get the beer marinated chicken thigh?
Sure. Hey, can you go, right?
Please. Thank you. One. Thank you very much. I tried not to get too many meats at one time because I didn't want them to get cold, so I knew I could go back and get some more. But everything looked so amazing right off the bat, and I couldn't wait to dig in. This being an anniversary trip, we definitely had to have a drink to celebrate. Cheers to 22 years being married. Not a bad little Chardonnay. First cut of meat I tried was actually the ribeye. This was extremely tender and so flavorful. I was just amazed. Their top cut is actually their picanha, which they're really known for. Next up was the garlic picanha, and you know me, I love garlic. That was probably my favorite bite of the whole evening. Next up, I wanted to try the beer marinated chicken thighs. Although this option looked and smelled amazing, it was just not giving me enough tender chicken that I was looking for. It was just so-so. I just kept going back for more of that garlic picanha. That stuff was delicious. One of the great things about a Brazilian buffet is you get to try a whole bunch of different variety of meats and different flavors and different cuts, and it's really a nice experience. And if there's something you don't like, you don't have to eat it. You can go back and get more of what you really do like. One of the cuts that Jared actually liked was the Brazilian Tuscan sausage. It had a very robust flavor. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but he really seemed to like it. Just so the meal was not so monotonous, I made sure to mix in a lot of the salad bar items that were pickled, just so that it could balance out the really rich meat. So far we were having a great time just trying all the different meats, enjoying each other's conversation, and just having a quiet evening together. And this place was quite lively for 7:30 on a Friday night, hence why I'm doing the voiceover. I was a big fan of the antipasti section of the buffet. This cheese right here that came out of the cheese wheel, I don't know what it was, but it was divine. And if you didn't know this about me, I love prosciutto. It's one of my favorite cuts of meat. Now this right here is their Brazilian cheese bread. It's very widely known in Brazilian steakhouses, and it comes complimentary with your meal. It's light and crisp on the outside, but extremely airy and fluffy on the inside. It tasted as good as it smelled, so that's definitely one of those things you probably don't want to fill up on, but it's oh so worth it. We were starting to fill up, but there was still a few more items I definitely wanted to try. Even though we were getting a little full, we were going to give it a shot. Next up was the Parmesan crusted pork tenderloin, and a few more cuts of ribeye. The tenderloin looked and smelled amazing. It was definitely very tender, and it was freshly off the grill, so it was nice and warm. I definitely was a big fan. One of the little tips that I did read online was take a little bit of that ribeye, wrap it in the cheese bread, and give that a shot. Warm, fluffy bread, tender, juicy meat. What a great combination. Even though we were totally stuffed, the last dish of the night, grilled pineapple. It was sprinkled with some kind of cinnamon sugar combination, but those little bits of charred pineapple mixed with the cinnamon, oh my gosh, this was heaven. Just a light grilling of this pineapple brings out all the juices and its natural sweetness. Even though we were stuffed, it was really hard to stop eating this pineapple. It was that good. As dinner winded down, we finished up the last few bites, finished off our drinks, had a little bit of a chat, and we decided to head on out.
Woo! Alright, quick recap. The VR77 was amazing. It was delicious. The ribeye was my favorite choice. The Parmesan crusted pork tenderloin was amazing, but I highly recommend it. And at the end, don't skip on the grilled pineapple because that was so delicious. So, alright, I gotta go. I'm stuffed. We're gonna go find a drink and some nightlife, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!